What if everything you thought you knew about getting rich was actually keeping you stuck? We're all taught pretty much the same financial blueprint. Go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, save diligently, buy a house, and eventually retire comfortably. It's a path that's been drilled into us for generations, presented as the absolute truth. But what if this well-trodden road, while offering a sense of security, rarely leads to true financial freedom? What if there's an entirely different philosophy about money, taught not in schools, but in the trenches of real-world wealth building? By the end of this conversation, you'll not only recognize the profound differences between these two financial philosophies, but also gain a powerful new framework for how you view money, assets, and ultimately, your own financial destiny. The cornerstone of this alternative financial philosophy boils down to a single, critical distinction: understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. It sounds simple, but it's where conventional wisdom often goes astray. An asset, in true wealth-building terms, is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Think about that for a moment. Most people consider their house an asset, but if it's heavily mortgaged in your primary residence, it's often a liability, funneling money out for mortgage payments, taxes, and maintenance. It only becomes an asset in the wealth-building sense if it's generating income for you, like a rental property. Another classic example is a new car. While it provides transportation, its value immediately depreciates, and it demands constant outflows for insurance, fuel, and upkeep. It's a liability, pure and simple. The conventional approach often focuses on increasing your income through a job, then using that income to acquire more liabilities, mistakenly believing they are assets. This is the essence of the rat race. Working harder to pay for more things that take money out of your pocket, leaving you perpetually dependent on your paycheck. The alternative approach emphasizes acquiring income-generating assets first, so that eventually, your assets can fund your lifestyle and even acquire more assets for you. This fundamental shift in understanding that your job is a source of capital to acquire income-generating assets, not just to pay for expenses and liabilities, is the engine that drives true financial independence. So, how do you practically apply this revolutionary thinking? It starts by consciously redirecting your resources. Instead of viewing every raise or bonus as an opportunity to upgrade your car or your wardrobe, view it as capital to acquire an asset. Imagine you have some extra cash. Option 1. Buy a new gadget. Option 2. Invest in a small online business that generates a modest but consistent passive income, or perhaps a share in a dividend-paying stock. The gadget is a liability, the business or stock is an asset. Let's consider a real-world scenario. Perhaps you start small by learning a high-income skill, say graphic design. You use that skill to take on freelance projects, generating extra income. Instead of spending that income, you meticulously save and invest it into something that puts more money in your pocket, like a small rental property, a diversified portfolio of index funds, or even reinvesting into tools and marketing for your freelance business to scale it further. This isn't about denying yourself entirely. It's about prioritizing asset acquisition over liability accumulation. It's a deliberate strategy to build streams of income that don't depend on your direct labor, thereby freeing up your time and energy. This paradigm shift isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about regaining control over your life. When your financial well-being is tied to a single paycheck, you're constantly trading time for money. This alternative approach liberates you from that endless cycle, fostering a mindset where you no longer work for money, but instead, money works for you. It's a profound recalibration of our relationship with finance, moving from a position of dependency to one of self-reliance and opportunity. This philosophy extends beyond individual wealth, too. Imagine societies where financial literacy is paramount, where individuals are empowered to create their own economic security rather than solely relying on corporate structures or government safety nets. It's about understanding the rules of the game so deeply that you can play it to your advantage, not just passively participate. In a rapidly changing global economy, where job security is increasingly a myth, this ability to create multiple streams of income and build genuine assets is not just beneficial, it's becoming essential for long-term stability and freedom. It's about building a fortress of financial resilience, not just a fragile house of cards. Ultimately, the core lesson isn't about specific investments or getting rich quick. It's about an entirely different way of thinking about money. It's about challenging the conventional narratives we've inherited and asking ourselves, is this truly serving my financial future? By understanding that crucial distinction between assets and liabilities, by consistently directing your energy and resources towards acquiring income-generating assets, and by embracing financial education as a lifelong pursuit, you gain the power to break free from the traditional cycle and chart your own course towards true financial freedom. This perspective gives you the tools to literally rewrite your financial script, putting you in the driver's seat of your economic future. What's one asset you're actively working to acquire or build right now that puts money in your pocket? Share your insights in the comments below.